Hi there, and thanks for tuning in. My name is Chris Dolge, and I am the Sales and Services Manager for AdCellerant Select. Just a quick background on me. I started my sales career in traditional media. Started with television, radio, did some print with magazines and newspaper. But for the past 15 plus years, I've been focused on digital marketing and really high touch campaigns, the more strategic accounts, multi product, long term accounts where they just need a little bit more white glove service. And I am thrilled to introduce you to our new select level services here at AdCellerant today. They can be leveraged to close, upsell, and maintain your highest value accounts. So let's jump right in. Here's the agenda for today. I'm going to go through who we are, some of the research tools and technology we have, our reporting tools, the campaign support and strategy, as well as our dedicated team of experts invested in the overall success of your campaigns. So who is AdCellerant Select? Well, AdCellerant as a whole is a technology and marketing company that makes the complex simple for our partners. We offer tech and award-winning customer service, expert education, and exceptional operational support. We really pride ourselves on a high retention rate and making sure that our partners help their advertisers meet and exceed their business goals. This is really achieved on the select side of things through enhanced research, advanced campaign architecture, and custom reporting mixed with expert campaign management and customer service. Our expertise actually spans multiple industries, which I think gives us a truly unique perspective on what it takes to be successful in a competitive digital marketplace. Some of those industries include retail, e-commerce, CPG, travel and hospitality, education, healthcare, automotive, legal, and political. We definitely work hard so we can have time to play hard. AdCellerant works with our partners to support and activate digital marketing campaigns for their advertising clients. We're one of the fastest growing companies in Colorado with over 200 of the best digital minds on the planet. And we believe in protecting the planet just as much as our profits and our partners. I love all these awards that we've received. I am humbled and honored to work with this team. You know, we start with the small and medium-sized businesses, helping our partners stack those campaigns to grow their book of business and overall digital revenue. But every once in a while, and we are stoked to see it, one of our partners finds a whale. And that's where you and your new advertiser need more of a boutique agency experience. And that's where AdCellerant Select comes in. We use some tools and technology to differentiate ourselves. Select is a team dedicated to your high value accounts, like I said, with a focus on the sales cycle and path to purchase for your advertisers. We don't like to guess the journey. We're all about connecting the dots and eliminating the guesswork, which starts and ends with our best-in-class tools and technology. Our strategic team works in lockstep to manage and grow digital revenue. They're focused on conversion tracking and monitoring different KPIs across all of the tactics we're running. And we look at conversion rates and customer acquisition trends for all types of attribution models, from e-commerce to in-store foot traffic. We're always focused on learning, optimizing, and testing to reach and retain net new customers for your advertisers. Understanding the customer journey means being data-driven and research-led from the very beginning. That's the big differentiator for us here at Select. It's the upfront strategic research we do, and all of the investment we've made in the best analytical minds and tools for launching a campaign and mitigating media waste right out of the gates. From competitor analysis to target audience insights and market segmentation strategies, all the way to investment analysis and full service media planning, we are trying our best to maximize your competitive advantage with the most educated decision making possible. These are some of the research tools that we have at our disposal here. Claritas, that's a company that allows us to identify who the optimal target audience is at any geo level with tons of different data points. And once that audience is defined, we can drill deeper into what their media consumption looks like. We enrich that data with target audience insights found within your first-party data and other reporting tools such as Google Analytics or MRI Simmons. And you really start to see this beautiful recipe of art and science that informs our target audience against all media preferences. Excuse me. Pathmatics and Kantar drives our competitive analysis, helping us to understand how much your competitors are spending. We can look at where and when they are advertising and what their promotional messages look like. We want to outsmart them, not outspend them. And a competitor analysis can give us the upper hand there. A layered data analysis is a market analysis, really, which brings in key variables by geographic level to determine where the business is generating and, where is the highest percentage of sales coming from. What markets skew higher for the target demo, and what markets are most likely to take a meaningful action. Interesting insights really start to arise in and outside of their perceived footprint here. So really important for us to do some market research up front. We use the Trade Desk as our preferred DSP. It's a leader in brand safety and fraud prevention. We can estimate share of voice and apply exclusion lists and even look into things like weather trigger ad campaigns to help enrich our targeting efforts there. The tools themselves are not proprietary, but what we do with them is. Prism Premier is the industry's most widely adopted segmentation solution. It's built to help marketers find prospects faster and sell smarter. Prism Premier provides rich insights into every household in the US, including demographics, lifestyle, and media preferences, shopping behaviors, and technology usage. They've remained at the forefront in terms of segmentation resources and classifies every US household into one of 68 segments based on a variety of data inputs, including income, age, education, net worth, tech usage, socioeconomic rank, and more. Once the segments are defined for your advertiser, we can then pull thousands of data points against each audience to ensure precise targeting and minimal media waste. Here's an example of what one of those Prism Life stage groups looks like here. It's based on demographic data within social and display channels, as well as data from Google Analytics and overall campaign learnings. Using this data helps guide our decision-making process with not just the media mix and the overall marketing strategies, but some of the messaging as well. We want to make sure that we're getting the right message in front of the right person. What we're doing is peeling back as many data layers as we can so we have a better understanding of how to start spending and where we want to start spending. We want to be hyper-focused from the beginning. It's really a delicate mix between science and art. Most advertisers have a pretty good understanding of who their target consumer is, but for larger spenders, those national brands and logos that need a more sophisticated strategy, we like to get into the weeds a bit more. And these research tools help us do this. So when we identify that target audience, we can put that audience against different media and different social media platforms to see how that audience skews on those various platforms. So we can be as smart and precise as possible. Kantar and Pathmatics are the tools that are driving our competitive analysis. Kantar, that's a premier tool for advertising intelligence, monitoring millions of ads each year nationally and locally. We can pull spends and messaging strategy for TV, print, radio, outdoor, and even digital. Pathmatics is a digital-only intelligence tool that is used to help supplement that Kantar data, and it provides additional real-time insights for digital media. It's a tool that specifically gives us visibility into digital ad spending across devices and platforms, historical impressions and buying strategies. It really means we know in real time which of your competitors are ramping their spend. But more importantly, we know exactly what messages they are putting in the market and which DSPs and sites they are buying on. Here's an example of a share of spend analysis where competitors are spending, maybe most importantly, where they are not. Is there a market or a specific zip code or state that competitors are not spending in that's low-hanging fruit for us? We really want to keep our competitors as close as possible. So we make sure we know what they're doing at all times, what messaging they're running, so we can combat that. And maybe are there any fast risers in our industry? Are there people that are growing or spending more and more each month? From a market research perspective, we want to be data driven as well. We're spending and messaging people as appropriately as possible. This layered data analysis provides us with a roadmap for prioritizing the geos, and we want to target those geos in the campaign. It also normalizes the data so we can make accurate comparisons between the geos. There's free tools like Google Analytics and first-party data. First-party data obviously is so important these days that, but you can scrub that data and look for geo trends and hotspots. Again, the tools we use aren't proprietary, but our research team is. Their minds and the way they interpret data is something you can only get through AdCellerant Select. So we've talked about the pre-sale process here and all the research we do up front to make sure we are putting our best foot forward. Now let's get into the reporting side of things. Campaign is off and running. How are we telling that story? Well, we're data junkies, and we understand that regular, transparent communication is key to a long-term partnership. We set regular communication and reporting cadences with our partners and their advertisers if needed. We build out a custom real-time dashboard to include the most important KPIs and micro-conversion metrics. We're making sure that we're aligned on expectations and providing as much transparency as possible so nothing catches your advertiser off guard. Here are two examples of the reporting that I'm talking about here. On the right, you have our UI.marketing dashboard, which gives macro level metrics, really easy to read and quickly send to a stakeholder or decision maker in a pinch. The custom report here on the left is something that we designed specifically for our select accounts, which can include more micro level metrics and key takeaway boxes, really areas where we can provide some additional insights related specifically to their campaign goals and KPIs. We can also pipe in SEO and Google Analytics data in here, or even provide links to device-side foot traffic reports that you may be running, or some deeper creative and audience comparisons from some A/B testing you may have done. We want to be adaptive to the client's business needs. Let's talk about the support and strategy behind our campaigns. We believe in an organized team approach led by a tenured account manager and everything that comes with our ops team support and their brain power. We're trying to proactively dive in and share insights and highlights while we make real-time optimizations to these campaigns. For example, if a client sells out of a certain product or maybe is having supply chain issues, we can pivot on a dime. And tethering these resources to your advertiser's campaign helps us to stay nimble and flexible and make changes at a moment's notice. They can lean into me and the rest of the account management team for campaign analysis and reviews. I mentioned hopping on reporting calls, putting together these custom reports and really identifying some of the highlights and takeaways that prove success of the campaign. Sometimes it can be tough to articulate that story of success, and we want to help you out as best we can there. Our team knows how to balance the beauty that is art in advertising while also making sure major decisions are rooted in data and science. This is a critical distinction among our team and allows us to have meaningful interactions every day. So a little bit more about the balance of science and art. I wish there was a silver bullet out there for a perfect marketing campaign, but there isn't. And we might be rich if we were able to figure that out. But what we have figured out is that combining data with our gut instincts and past experiences leads to more robust partnerships and long-term successes. Ideas can come from anyone. They come from our most seasoned data scientists or our intern around the water cooler. And we really want to marry our expertise with the data so it's a delicate balance between science and art. But we're doing that to make the right decisions about the buyer's journey. You have a specific select dedicated team. So led by Melissa Sheehan, our fearless leader here, chief revenue officer, to be able to have, to be able to talk with a CRO is incredible. I'm obviously available for reporting calls or strategy sessions, anything that you guys need from a customer service standpoint, looking into upsell opportunities, anything like that. I want to be there to help support you guys through thick and thin. Adrian is our director of strategic accounts here. Awesome to have him on my team as my right-hand man, really just monitoring campaign health and overall success of this division. We've got a director of search strategy, select ad ops direct VPs, directors of search, strategic campaign managers designated solely to your campaigns. You have access to other directors of sales on the team. We have a team of experts behind the scenes that can jump in at a moment's notice. So what are the onboarding steps to ensure a successful campaign here? Going back, we want to start with that research and analysis phase. We want to identify those select accounts up front. Now remember, those are the high spending, long-term strategic advertisers. Really want to be 6-month plus campaigns, $25,000 per month or more, running multiple products, right? We want those omni-channel full funnel approaches, including display and retargeting. So we have some bottom of the funnel tactics in every single campaign. Really, you're looking for those sophisticated advertisers that could use this additional research and analysis up front. So really want you to identify those opportunities in your various markets and then loop me and the AdCellerant Select team in. We kind of take it a bit slower over here, but that's by design. And we want to work through some of this research and analysis, take it slow, present those findings, and really suggest a plan of action that is rooted in data. Pre-launch is a time for us to get final permissions or accesses to things that we need to monitor campaign success. That's Google Tag Manager, that's Google Analytics. Google Tag Manager is huge because it allows us to place pixels at will without having to go through a middleman or to go through a web dev team. If we need to make changes or troubleshoot, it just makes everybody's life a lot easier to get GTM access. So really important that these sophisticated advertisers have these types of things set up and are willing to give us visibility into them. It's also a time for approval on the budget and overall media mix. So we are all on the same page. It's really important to be aligned and make sure that everybody is connected and knows who is who and who they can contact if needed. We never want to surprise them. We want to stay ahead of potential concerns or issues. Really the goal here is to be proactive so we can build trust with our partners and their advertisers so we increase loyalty, and that leads to additional campaigns and long-term successes. Post-launch, we're talking about campaign check-ins and reporting, making sure we are in constant communication, painting a positive picture for that advertiser, meeting or exceeding the advertiser's expectations. really looking at ways to take the partnership to the next level. How can we be consultative and give them advice, provide deeper insights on what we're seeing that's working that they could use for other aspects of their business. It's critical to discuss industry trends here and business updates to make sure that we're all on the same page. Here's a quick look at the timeline. Start with that media brief. Start with some basic information that we need. Who are their top competitors? What does their budget look like? What have they done in the past? What's worked? What hasn't worked? What do they absolutely need from a reporting standpoint? That all helps us kind of tee up the research and analysis phase, where we do the deeper dives into competitive and target audience analysis as well as market analysis. We're then going to present those findings. There's usually around a 14-day turnaround for those research and analysis, for the research and analysis to take place. It can be as little as 7 business days if we're just doing a target audience analysis, for example. But expect 1 to 2 weeks turnaround to present the findings and for us to put together that digital media plan based on the data. We're talking about the campaign architecture, building out the campaign, having the partner and advertiser review and approve, and then we're going into campaign launch. We want to make sure that everybody's aligned and on the same page before we launch, so we can get into the reporting phase and give them details and provide them with insights on the KPIs and goals that they were expecting. We've had some great successes here across multiple industries. This is a healthcare provider that was trying to generate some leads and sales for elective procedures. We had a great mix of display, device ID, and search engine marketing. What we actually saw from results was 30 procedures for them, valued at $40,000 each. They were able to find 11 new partners for their occupation medicine practices and saw a 125% increase in telehealth visits, along with 1,000 plus visits to urgent care, all because of our campaign. We've worked with home service companies as well. This is a company that wanted to increase brand awareness and drive in-store traffic. They had 13 store locations. They wanted to promote the client as the state's premier choice for carpet, flooring, and countertops. We had a robust mix of digital tactics in here, from display, device ID, to Facebook and Instagram and search engine marketing, to SEO. The local SEO really focused on driving those local intent conversions, those near me types of searches, and organic SEO to make sure that they're popping up organically when users are searching for keywords related to their business. We saw 28,000 store visits in 2021. They saw a huge increase in phone calls, at almost over 2.5 times increase in phone calls, and a 488% increase in keyword visibility from the organic SEO efforts. We had over 667,000 Google business profile views across their 13 store locations, which is huge because we know that people are going to Google before they go to a location. They're clicking for directions, they're clicking to call, and that is key to providing results. An outdoor merchandise retailer here, we had a programmatic display, streaming TV, SEM, and local intent campaign put together. Tracking was critical. We wanted to have some dynamic site retargeting. We had multiple promotions ongoing, aligning some of the targeting with the creative to make sure that we've got that right message for that right audience. They increased their total investment to over $2 million this year and have started to test out other tactics like device ID and streaming audio. Reasons for renewing: the site retargeting helped ensure that website visitors who have shown interest in the client's brand and products are being delivered to, helping keep them engaged and drive them further down the purchase funnel. Conversion tracking allowed this client to track the path to online sales purchases. We've got the cart additions and then confirmed online purchases. We did a lot of work looking at cart abandonment rates and trying to minimize that. And we saw some great success from e-commerce sales, especially during the pandemic. They tracked over 13.6 million in e-commerce sales. They saw an 8-to-1 gross return on ad spend, which was a 29% increase year over year. And we found some deeper insights for some product lines. 74,000 orders incurred during the campaign length. Found out some really cool insights in seasonality trends and some campaign optimizations, some of the top performing creatives and overall audience engagement. And we saw one of the coolest things that I've ever seen, and with adding streaming TV, a top funnel tactic, a high impact branding tactic, driving results for bottom of the funnel tactics. So we added streaming TV to the campaign, and our local intent, those local SEO clicks to call, click for directions, click to go to the website, those grew twofold when we added in streaming TV. So top of the funnel tactics impact bottom of the funnel. Let's talk about business requirements. I kind of mentioned this earlier, but $25,000 per month retail spend for a minimum of 6 months here. So keep that ingrained and be on the lookout for those whales. We want them to be multi-product commitments with programmatic display. Programmatic display helps us to target prospective consumers and drive website traffic, but it also allows us to build up that site retargeting pool, which can drive conversions and help us with some of those more impactful metrics like conversion rate and return on ad spend. If you have a high potential campaign that you feel like there's an opportunity to prove our worth to and land them for long term, we can always entertain those, take them on a case-by-case basis, and they could certainly qualify upon the discretion of the select team. We do want the ability to get access to GTM and Google Analytics, even Facebook and past Google Ads campaigns. And there is a cost up front for the media and analytics research that we do, but those fees are waived with a signed agreement. So anything that comes in, all of that work we do up front, there are some costs associated with the target audience analysis, with the competitor analysis and market analysis. But the whole goal here is to use that information for us to put together a plan that the advertiser loves and wants to work with us on. If the advertiser wants to take that research and do what they want with it, that's fine. There's just an additional fee that's associated with that. Our goal is to get a deal done and to help that advertiser meet and exceed their business goals using the data. And so we will waive that with their 6 month, $25,000 per month or more commitment. Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure introducing you to AdCellerant Select. I hope to hear from you all soon. This division of the company would not be possible with people like Melissa Sheehan and Adriana Beta, as well as our research team, Sarah and Rachel, all of the strategic ops managers that we have, giving their all, making sure that campaigns are healthy and testing to get better and better all the time. It's been great talking with you today. Again, my name is Chris Dolge. Have a great day, and I hope to hear from you soon.